Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the review of part 3 in the IBM Data Science Professional Certificate course that was provided by Coursera. And this class is actually currently available at Coursera right now. If you want to join or you want to uh, look at it yourself, you can sign up yourself for about maybe 20 or 30 bucks in Indonesia, or maybe about a million rupiah right now. So you can sign up and you can start to learn yourself. So this is about the chapter 3 of the material itself. And let's talk about what did I learn through that course. Basically, it is a course that is about 1 hour and maybe 10 minutes long kind of chapter. It consists of a video, it consists of material that you can read yourself. And of course, there are some quizzes and some practical questions, the questions that you need to answer to make sure that you are actually understand about the topic itself. And after I actually finish it, these are all of the things that I have probably learned. First of all, what is the big data? So the material itself is talking about big data and data mining. So why do we need big data and data mining when we learn about data science? Because when we learn about data science, it needs about a huge amount of data, which is quite massive, that require new technologies. Because if we only use our own local device, I believe your storage will not be able to comprehend all of the data that you have. It probably need gigabytes or maybe terabytes or even more, quarter-bytes or maybe quintillion bytes, which is really amusing if you want to have a huge scale of project. And of course, it's probably related to what the consumers of your product, or maybe about risks of in the future of your company. Maybe you can learn about more profit or productivity of the company through all of the data, maybe transactional data that daily occurred on your company, or maybe other kind of data that you see every day. And all of this, of course, in the goal of enhancing business value. For example, one of the story that was said during the course itself was the Houston Rockets case study, when they actually try to use big data and data science to improve their play and improve uh, their uh, their whole basketball team. They use some kind of a video data collection, which collect the most productive kind of shot, or most productive kind of play that could help them get more points, which conclude that 3-point shot and the 2 points dunks are the most favorable and the most effective kind of way to score in a basketball match, and that actually help them to score more points on their season against their rivals. And that is only one of the example. And big data itself has some characteristic. It is known as the fees of data set of big data. I mean, there are 5 fee. It's like the Roman fee. There's the value, volume, velocity, variety, and veracity. Value, of course, it is kind of investment. So you can get a lot of values from the data that you collect in the big data. What kind of things of insight that you can get from the data itself. Volume is scale of data. The professor of the material told me about his own definition of big data. One of them is the volume. The volume is so big that you need a help of a new kind of technology, and you cannot use the traditional or the old way of statistic. So you have to use some kind of new things. Now that is what we know about big data. If you cannot do it on yourself, you cannot do it maybe locally, because the size of it is too much. Now that is what they call the data set. I mean, big data. And velocity is the speed it is collected. For example, if you collect the data of a basketball match, it will collect almost one data maybe every millisecond, every play that they make, and it will conclude up to a huge amount of data. And variety, of course, what kind of data that you need, what are the sources, and Maybe if you are analyzing some kind of basketball play, you can analyze the velocity, the position of shot, the point that they make, and what other things that is the varieties of the data. I mean, analysis veracity to confirm the fact that the data is valid, it is right or not. And of course, because we cannot use our local hardware and local, or maybe your own devices, maybe your PC or your laptop cannot comprehend all of the amount of data, you can use the cloud technology, which has 5 characteristics. It is about on-demand, network access, resource pooling, elasticity, and research services. On demand, of course, it make you able to access the processing or storage or network to all of your data. Network access is, of course, you can only access it through the resource of internet. Resource pooling is, it is basically automatically shared resources through all of the users. So the amount of burden to the whole system itself is dynamic and systematic. So it is pretty safe. It cannot get some kind of bottleneck or maybe errors in the near future. Elasticity, this automatically scales the resource access to make sure that your all of your data is being used effectively. And of course, better service, you only need to pay the for the product that you need. You don't need to buy the whole package of it. For example, if you want to only use the data visualization kind of cloud computing technology, you only have to pay for that. You don't need to pay for the other kind of functions that's being offered. You only need to pay for that. And of course, there are some benefits to it because by using cloud computing, the scalability of your project is being organized systematically, which is better and more effective than if you only use it, or maybe you only save it on your own device. Collaboration, it enables you to collaborate with all of your peers, maybe your colleagues, your professional team, and maybe accessibility. You can access it through all of your device, through your phone, through your CPUs, through your laptop, everywhere and anywhere, as long as you have internet. And of course, the maintenance cost is pretty cheap because all of the product itself will automatically update, and you don't need to buy the newest software or any kind of update since you already pay on the first time you're using it. And there's some example of big data computing tools that is open source that was given through the course. It's Apache Hadoop. Apache Hadoop is distributed storage and processing of big data that is available right now if you want to use. Apache Hive is provides large data sets. It's basically a data warehouse that you can use some kind of SQL to write or read through your Apache Hadoop storage, which is happening probably in real time. But if you want to use some kind of model that is using some kind of machine learning, or maybe it use some kind of AI or deep learning, you probably need to use Apache Spark, which is a really powerful data processing engine that you can use for all of your project. And here are the 6 main process of data mining that was said during the material. You have to set the goal. What is your question of the whole research? For example, like the Houston rocket case, the goal is to make sure to conclude what is the most effective way to score, to make sure that the team itself has an increased amount of points during their basketball game. And identify the data source or select the data. For the Houston Rocket case study, the data source was actually the video analyzing technology. So they record the whole court to make sure where are the most effective place to score, or what kind of place that is the most effective way to score. And pre-processing the data, clean the data if there are error or maybe there are outliers that is really weird. You can make sure to clean all of them. And of course, you have to transform all of the data that you already cleaned to a storage that you can access. And after that, you can data mine it, which in this part, you can use some kind of machine learning or maybe other kind of models to cluster, regress, or any kind of other things that you need from to get some insights or trend that normal person cannot comprehend. And last but not least is to evaluate what are the outcomes, share the results to the stakeholders, use a good data visualization, use a good storytelling to give some kind of explanation about your findings, about all of the things that actually happened throughout your project, to make sure that all of the higher ups, the stakeholders in this case, is actually believe and actually understand about what did you do during the research itself. And I think those are all the things that I learned throughout the chapter 3. The verdict, I believe it was really eye-opening, really open-minding, and also if I need to improve something, I probably want want them to give us more practical stuff, maybe some kind of example of coding related to the use of Apache Hadoop, Apache Hive, Apache Spark, or the example of more details, practical things that they did in the past, or something like an open case study. So I think that's all. You should, if you want to learn yourself, you can join or sign up on Coursera. I think it is available right now. And thank you for listening. Goodbye.